Could rookie quarterback Caleb Williams lead the Chicago Bears to the Super Bowl this year as a rookie again? Well, one national sports commentator thinks it's a possibility. I'm going to react to that and go through some reasons why maybe it could or likely will not happen here in 2024. So stay tuned. It's going to be interesting, but hit that thumbs up icon if you want to finally win another Super Bowl. I was not alive in 1985, believe it or not. I would like to see the Bears win a Super Bowl in my lifetime. So hit that like button if you're with me, even if you were alive in 1985. I think we can all agree we would like to see the Bears win a Super Bowl. I'm Harrison Graham, and this is Chicago Bears Now. Nick Wright, first things first, on Fox Sports believes that Caleb Williams could lead the Bears to the Super Bowl this year, as in his rookie campaign. Here's what Wright had to say, quote, he has a tailor-made start to his career, talking about the Bears' schedule. Of the 7 teams projected to have the worst record in football, he gets 5 of them in the first 9 weeks of his career. I think a 7-2 start is absolutely on the table. This is my bold prediction. Forget guaranteeing the playoffs. I'm flirting with the idea. I think Caleb could lead the Bears to the Super Bowl in his rookie season. This Bears team is a playoff team with slightly below average QB play. They were a 7-win team last year, and they added Rome Odunze and Keenan Allen. So in that weak NFC, with that type of momentum and not having to play any divisional games until the last third of his rookie season, I could see the Bears shocking everyone except me. This is obviously very bold from Nick Wright, but, and I am going to add a but here, there are reasons to believe that it's not the craziest idea of all time. First of all, to the thing he pointed out to initially, the early part of the schedule is extraordinarily manageable. And some of those teams he's talking about in terms of the lowest projected win total this year in the NFL, Titans, not expected to be a great team. Now, again, sometimes teams surprise. The Panthers, not a team expected to be great. Question marks around the Colts. The Commanders, certainly. The Jags coming off a bit of a down season. Sure, you got the Texans and Rams in there, but those are very manageable games early on there. And then you go to the second screen here. Cardinals, Patriots, 2 very manageable games. Even the Vikings, the NFC North is tough. You should be a better team than the Vikings. You should split those at worst, if not win both times. Yeah, it gets tough at the end. But to Nick Wright's point, and I agree with them, when I went through the schedule exercise record prediction, I have the Bears starting off 7-2, which seems ludicrous. But, like, other than the Texans and Rams, who terrifies you in the first 2 months? And I'm not even saying those teams should terrify you. I just think those are good football teams, and, you'll probably be underdogs in both. But beyond that, you got very winnable games. Now, you got to go out there and do it. The Bears are still unproven. But on paper, I see where he's coming from when you compare the Bears to opponents early on. Like, I'm supposed to believe Will Levis is going to come into Soldier Field against this defense and outduel Caleb Williams. I don't see it happening. So I think the Bears do have a chance to generate early momentum. And if they do, other things could start to fall into place. Now, predict the Bears' 2024 record. Let me know down in the comment section. 17 games. I got the Bears going 11-6. If you want to see my game-by-game score prediction and overall record prediction video, subscribe and go to the video content tab. You'll see a full breakdown right there. Number 2, the NFC is very top-heavy. We've talked about this on a prior episode here on Chicago Bears Now. I think the top tier looks like this, and San Francisco's probably in a tier of its own, and then it's Detroit, and then a bit of a dip. But, like, the LA Rams just had one of the best players in NFL history retire in Aaron Donald. Matthew Stafford is very good, but he's not getting any younger. The Eagles were a mess to finish last year. The Cowboys have done nothing to improve their team this offseason, and we know they falter in the postseason. The Bears can absolutely compete in the NFC. Like, after the 49ers, there's no team in this conference that I'm like, well, you just got no shot on a not a neutral field, but in a game. You outplayed Detroit 7 out of 8 quarters last year with a lesser team and a lesser quarterback, at least we think. We'll have to see Caleb play, but at least we think. You outplayed them for 7 out of 8 quarters. Should have swept them last year. They were about 2 bad drops away from going to the Super Bowl. NFC North is tough, sure, with Detroit, but I just mentioned you outplayed them last year. And, yeah, you got to get over the mental hurdle that is the Green Bay Packers, but I think the Bears have a better roster. Bears can absolutely hang in this conference. Like there's not. This is not like you don't have Mahomes and Allen and Lamar and these teams just lurking over you. Like you got the Niners, but even it's Brock Purdy still. Like it's not like you're absolutely terrified there. Okay, number 3. To that point, Caleb Williams can be a top quarterback in the NFC pretty damn fast. Now, again, he's got to do it, and we have to see it. But if you just look at some of these quarterbacks, yeah, again, I think Matthew Stafford is the best quarterback in the NFC. He's also 36 years old. Brock Purdy, I think 2 through 5, quite frankly, are pick your flavor. I'll give Purdy the benefit of the doubt. With Shanahan, he's done pretty damn well. Prescott, great regular season quarterback, has not been good in the playoffs historically. Jared Goff has won a lot of playoff games, but he's been a bad matchup for the Bears, so it's not like he terrifies me. Jalen Hurts wasn't very good last year. I could have put Jordan Love, but at the end of the day, Jordan Love has had a great 8-game stretch, but beyond that, we don't really know. Like, the AFC is much more quarterback-filled. Mahomes, Allen, you got Lamar. I mean, even you want to throw Aaron Rodgers over there. C.J. Stroud, Justin Herbert. Producer in my ear says Drake May. We'll see, maybe. The point is like NFC, AFC, AFC is a lot tougher. Tougher teams, better quarterbacks, some good coaches. I don't know, man. Like, and by the way, yes, we have to see it with Caleb, but from just a raw ability standpoint, Stafford's the only one where you could say, yeah, that guy's probably got as much raw talent as Caleb Williams in terms of the different things he can do with his arm. But again, he's not as mobile and he's older. Like, you're telling me Caleb's not more talented than Dak Prescott? He absolutely is. Brock Purdy? He absolutely is. Those guys are established. They've proven it in this league. But again, if you're projecting, if you're taking this Nick Wright leap of faith that Caleb Williams could lead you to the promised land, if his talent turns into production and winning, then yes, I could see how it's at least a possibility. Now, if you want to get yourself a Caleb Williams jersey, you could do so right now. Chatsports.com/Caleb to pick one up today. Chatsports.com/Caleb. Link is in the comments and in the description of this video. The oranges are back in stock for pre-order, so go check those out. Chatsports.com/Caleb. Get yourself a Caleb Williams jersey right now. The beauty of this being possible too, and again, these aren't my predictions. I'm defending Nick Wright's point, and then here in a minute, I will detract it a bit of what could hold the Bears back. You should have a top 10 defense. If there's anything positive to say about Matt Eberflus, the guy knows defense. As soon as he took over as the defensive play caller last year, defense got better. And then when Montez Sweat got here, it became borderline elite. It was a top 5 unit after the Montez Sweat trade. That's elite. Now, not for a full season. You got to see more of it. But they were taking the football away. Flus was dialing up different looks, blitzes. That wasn't perfect. He certainly made some bad calls, like the 3rd and 15 against Cleveland when he's dropping Justin Jones into coverage. But this defense at worst should be top 10. The only question about the defense you have is there enough pass rush? Like, that might hold them back from being like a top 3, top 5 unit. You might end up being like the 8th best unit instead of the 4th because you can't get enough pressure. But the back 7 can go with any in the NFL. Eric Washington said that the other day. I completely agree with them. Your linebackers, safeties, and corners, that group is very, very, very good. Okay, next. Best skill group in the NFC, and I'll pose it as a question. I don't know if you could definitively say that, but it's definitely in the conversation. I mean, the wide receiver trio on paper, I do think is the best in the NFL. Forget the NFC with DJ Moore, Keenan Allen, Roman Dunze. You got 2 top 12, top 15 receivers, and a very talented rookie in Dunze. You've got a good running back group. You don't have an elite runner, but you got, I think, 2 really good runners and then a potential good third runner, at least an intriguing player in Roschon Johnson. We know Swift can play. Khalil Herbert as a runner is good. Now he leaves something to be desired in pass protection as a receiving back, but he's a great in between and outside the tackles runner. Tight ends, you got 2 good ones. Cole Kmet, who's gotten better each and every year, especially these past 2 years. Gerald Everett, who knows this offense well, has been with Shane Waldron before. Like, from a skill group perspective offensively, it sounds weird to say, the Bears are loaded. They absolutely are. They have 6 to 8 legitimate playmakers. That's very unique, especially in this town. So, yeah, again, when you're see someone like Nick Wright throw that out there, it's going to give you pause. And I'm not even saying it's my prediction. I'll give my, official, drop dead prediction, leading up to week 1. But you could see the path. Weaker NFC, quarterbacks aren't stellar. You got a good defense. You got loaded talent on offense. If Caleb hits, why not? I get he's a rookie, but it's not like it's impossible. Subscribe to the channel. We'll take a look at the other side of the coin, why it likely won't happen here in a moment. We're trying to get to 94,000 subscribers here on Bears Now. We're just over 600 away. The countdown to 100K is on. The love and support we've gotten over the last few years has been excellent. If you've subscribed and have already done all that stuff, share the link with a friend. Let's get more Bears fans in here and party together. So what holds the Bears back? Number one, there are still question marks in the trenches. Offensively, I think you're better at center with Ryan Bates and or Coleman Shelton. I think Nate Davis will be better this year after a tumultuous offseason last year. Darnell Wright should take a leap. When healthy, Tevin Jenkins is very good. Braxton Jones, in theory, should take another step forward in year 3. That's a lot of ifs and hopes, though, right? Like, chances are, if I just listed 4 things that I think could happen, 1 or 2 of those probably won't happen, or someone will get hurt, or that's the nature of the beast in the NFL, especially in the trenches. And then defensive line. We've talked about it a lot. We know Montez Sweat's a damn good player. He's a multiplayer, as Ryan Poles would say. Who else is very good? I like Andrew Billings. He's a nice player, but he's not special. He's a good run-stopping nose tackle. DeMarcus Walker's a good energy player. Javon Dexter's got insane physical tools, but can he put it all together in year 2? We'll see. Can you get above average combined play out of these 2 units? Because I think if you can, if these 2 units are somewhere league average, 15 to 17, 14 to 18, I think you'd be pretty happy with that, because I think everywhere else, your back 7 and your skill groups and what you think your quarterback can be, I think those position groups can elevate to top 10 status at a lot of positions. Okay, number 2, the potential rookie quarterback struggles. Again, the Bears have done an excellent job in building around Caleb Williams, and I am confident in Caleb Williams. I don't think he'll fail. I don't think he'll have heavy struggles. But that doesn't mean I'm naive enough to act like he can't have struggles, or there's no scenario where he will have struggles, and he probably will have bad games at some point in time. But what Caleb has is nothing short of fantastic for a number 1 overall pick. This is unique what the Bears have been able to do to build around Caleb Williams. Rome Odunze as that number 9 overall pick. Great addition to Keenan Allen, DJ Moore, Swift, Herbert, Kmet, Everett. You think an ascending O-line. Shane Waldron and his staff should be better than Luke Getsy and his. Like, we've talked about it. This is not a typical number 1 pick situation. This isn't Bryce Young walking into Carolina where the cupboard is dry. But I do want to be careful and say, yeah, rookie QBs are never a guarantee. Josh Allen really struggled as a rookie. Like, a lot of guys struggle year 1. Now, that doesn't mean if he does, it's the end of the world. But chances, like, probability will tell you that there's a better chance Caleb Williams will struggle as a rookie than he is a superstar as a rookie. Now, I think the Bears situation's a little different with better talent than most rookie quarterbacks. But throughout the history of the league, that is the probability mathematical likelihood. And then the last one, and maybe even the biggest question mark on this entire team, the head coach. Is Matt Eberflus ready for this? Is he ready to be the head coach of a team that's actually supposed to be very good? Because in his first year, they had no chance of being good. Now, they lost several tight games. Justin Fields had that stretch where they averaged over 30 points per game offensively, and they lost a few shootouts. Could they have gone 5-12, 6-11 instead of 3-14? Sure. Could last year, did they blow a couple of games, and was Flus responsible for at least 1 or 2 of those? Yeah. But in neither of those years did you have someone like Nick Wright or anyone, even say the Bears could be a threat in the playoffs, much less a team that could go to the Super Bowl. I don't think a lot of people are going to pick the Bears to go to the Super Bowl, but I think most people will have them making the playoffs. Like, that is a reasonable goal. Is Matt Eberflus ready? This Matt Eberflus was not ready. They lost some tight games last year. But is this Matt Eberflus? New look, new Flus? Is he ready? Kind of having poking fun. It's kind of, symbolic. If the Bears do break out and have this awesome season, I think people are going to look back and be like, Flus changed his look and it was a new look Bears. I don't think that stuff matters that much in the end. It's kind of fun to poke jokes about it. But the point is we can talk about Keenan Allen, Rome Odunze, Caleb Williams, all these upgrades on paper, and I do think they are upgrades. But is the coach himself ready? Because people like me asked him to be fired. Hey, you're going to get a new quarterback. Let's just reset at head coach. They didn't do that. So Ryan Poles is sitting there telling you, we believe that Flus is ready for this. That's the organization's standpoint. Is he? We'll have to wait and see. What is your goal for the 2024 Chicago Bears? You can say from a win-loss perspective. You can say make the playoffs. You can say win a playoff game. My baseline goal is be a playoff team. If you do that, I'll at least be satisfied. Anything less than that, I won't be. I think a realistic goal is win one playoff game. I'm not saying that's easy, but do what C.J. Stroud and the Texans did last year. Make the playoffs, win a playoff game. Get into a divisional round matchup. If you did that, that would be a hell of an accomplishment. If you did what Nick Wright is thinking about predicting and made the Super Bowl, are you kidding me? It'd be one of the best seasons in franchise history with a rookie quarterback. So you let me know what your goal is for this edition of the Chicago Bears. All right, there you have it. Some reasons why Nick Wright's take isn't crazy and some reasons why maybe it's not crazy, but you could understand if it didn't happen. I'm Harrison Graham. Be sure to subscribe to Chicago Bears Now.